Hey guys, for this week's video, I wanted to talk about something that affects me personally every single day of my life. Um, I have been dealing with chronic pain since about 2012. I was diagnosed in February, I believe, of last year, 2017, with fibromyalgia. I was seeing a rheumatologist who was able to quickly diagnose that for me and start me on a whole regimen of medications, which none of which helped. So it's been an uphill battle for me. It's something that makes dealing with everyday life pretty difficult a lot of the time. Um, a lot of people don't know the extent of the illnesses that I've been dealing with, and that's because I don't really talk about my health a lot to a lot of people. Um, a lot of people are very quick to, if they see you post something about being sick or whatever, say, oh, well, you're doing it for attention. Um, that is the last thing that I want. The reason that I'm making this video is because I feel like there's a lot of stigma around invisible illnesses. A lot of people will see me and be like, oh, Val, you look good. Thank you. I'm glad I don't look like a homeless person today, but I feel like crap 90 to 95% of the time. It's very rare that I have a day where I get up and I'm just like, wow, I feel good today. Um, Makes it really difficult because I do have two children. Um, a lot of times I set my alarm pretty early just to give myself enough time to drag my sorry behind out of bed. And then, I gotta go through the battle of trying to wake my kids up, get them ready for school. I do not have a drivable vehicle at this time, so I walk my kids to school. And that, I know a lot of people say exercise helps with fibromyalgia. And it's not that I don't want to walk, it's just that I also have some kind of hip issue going on with my right hip. So it's very painful for me to try to get out and walk. A lot of days I spend a lot of time in my bed on my heating pad, binge watching Special Victims Unit on Hulu because it's my favorite. Um, my life is not super exciting. People think a lot of different things about what it means to be disabled. I am still dealing with trying to wrap my head around the word disabled because I look at myself and I think, you're 32. You should be able to work and provide for your kids and not have to get any kind of help from anybody. But unfortunately, I have not been able to work since May of 2017. I am in the process of going on disability, which I hate. I hate that I have to do that. I didn't want to do that. My primary care doctor looked at me and he was like, Val, you really need to apply for disability because I don't know if you're ever going to be able to work again. Um, Fibromyalgia is one thing that I have going on. I also have some other kind of autoimmune issue happening. I am working with a fantastic rheumatologist. A good friend of mine recommended her to me, and she's really been on top of things. She's really trying to find me some kind of answer because she said, this has been going on for too long without you knowing what's happening to you, why it's happening to you. So stay tuned to find out more about that, I guess. I will let you guys know as soon as I find out, but honestly, I'm kind of a mystery. my illness is kind of a mystery. I've had a couple of things thrown out there. It could potentially be lupus. I've had Sjogren's mentioned to me. I have had limited scleroderma mentioned to me. If you don't know what any of these disorders are, there's a ton of resources on the internet. I mean, if you wanted to do some light reading, just to kind of know what I'm potentially looking at in my future. It's stuff that scares me, stuff that I don't want to deal with, but unfortunately, it's stuff that I have to deal with. So, keeping that in mind, I have also been diagnosed with anxiety and depression. I have a generalized anxiety disorder. I do take medication every day to keep me from going completely manic because I tried to do things without medication for a really long time, and I can honestly say that as much as I am not one to want to take medications, it has made a huge difference in my life. It's definitely helped me to feel like I can parent my children better, that I can manage my own health a little bit better. It's a lot. So I'm kind of dedicating this video to people that I know, people that I don't know, who are also suffering from mental illness, from invisible illnesses. I want you to know that there are so many of us out there, and we get it. And I know that it's hard to deal with. I know that there's a lot of people in the world who don't get what we're going through and look at you and make you feel like useless, make you feel like a terrible person because, well, why aren't you working? Why aren't you supporting your kids? Why are you getting help? What am I supposed to do? I have been pulled out of work by my physician, by multiple physicians. Can't even talk. Multiple physicians have told me they don't know what's wrong. They can't give me an answer. I've had quite a few of my doctors tell me, no, you need to be disabled. You need to be on disability. And again, that's a hard pill to swallow at my age and who I am as a person. I've always been very proud. I've always been very hardworking. I don't like to feel like anybody's handing anything to me. So that's definitely played a lot into my depression, into my anxiety, because I overthink things and I stress myself out and I let people get inside my head and make me feel guilty for something that is literally beyond my control. My body is not working the way it should be, but I'm doing the best that I can. And sometimes that's all you can do, is the best that you can. It doesn't always feel like it's enough. But again, to anybody watching this who might be in a similar situation, it is enough. You are enough. You are doing the best you can. Some days all you can do is get up and get the kids out the door and come back home and lay in bed on a heating pad, and that's okay. Because there's going to be other days where you have to push yourself. Yesterday, I went to the laundromat. I had an appointment that I had to go to, which was a half-hour drive each way, and being in the car causes me so much pain. After that, I came home for a little bit, worked on folding that laundry because I had to go basically straight from the laundromat to my appointment. Went and got my kids from school, had to go pick my mom up because I had to borrow her car. I came home, I finished folding the laundry, putting the laundry away, then I did dishes. By the time it was time to make dinner, I could hardly walk. But, I mean, who else is going to do all this stuff? I have a wonderful boyfriend, and he truly goes above and beyond to help me as much as he can. But we do not live together. He's not here every day. And I'm not the kind of person who can just sit around and do nothing. I push myself, and I know I push myself. So I'm hurting today because I did a lot yesterday. And that's okay. I'm going to have kind of a lazy day today. I'm going to take it easy on myself. That's okay. If you have to do that, that is allowed. And don't ever let anybody make you feel bad about that. I'm learning this. It's taken me a long time to wrap my head around what's happening to my body and in my life. It's all right to allow yourself to have bad days, because even people who don't have an invisible illness, who don't have a mental illness, everybody has bad days. Some of us just have more of them than other people do, and it is what it is. That's kind of my that's kind of my motto. It is what it is. So yeah, that's kind of what's going on in my life. It's kind of what it's like for me having an invisible illness. I just kind of want to bring some attention to what an invisible illness is. Kind of some of the struggles that you or somebody you care about might be facing if they have an invisible illness. But there's definitely so many resources out there. Educate yourselves. That's the biggest thing I cannot stress enough to anybody. And I stress this to my kids all the time. Educate yourself, because that is ignorance. Ignorance is what's putting such a stigma on invisible illnesses, on mental illnesses. And if I can even help change one person's view on these things, then I feel like this video was a success. So thank you for taking the time to listen to my long rambly video. I will be back again next week with some kind of cool video. I haven't really decided yet. Always looking for suggestions. If you have any input on my video, any advice on dealing with chronic pain, on dealing with mental illnesses, feel free to drop a comment. But until next time, have a great weekend, guys.